Russian commanders, desperate to replace their losses, are sending soldiers with unhealed wounds into assaults. British intelligence reported that the 20th Combined Arms Army has created an assault force of wounded soldiers, including those using crutches. According to British intelligence, the Russian authorities have two goals: to relieve the burden on a medical system that is overwhelmed by the influx of wounded, and to get rid of soldiers whose injuries have made them unfit for long-term service. If such soldiers remain in hospitals, the state will have to pay them benefits and disability compensation. But the Kremlin prefers to send them to their deaths. It is easier and cheaper. In January, a video appeared on Ukrainian Telegram channels showing two Russian soldiers on crutches walking across an open field near Pokrovsk in the Donetsk region. They were likely killed after a drone strike. The footage caused outrage even among Russian Z-War correspondents. Blogger Vyacheslav Golikov called such methods a complete disgrace and noted that sometimes obvious cripples are indeed sent into assaults. Russian commanders use wounded soldiers not only as cannon fodder, but also as bait, forcing the Ukrainian military to waste ammunition on them. Such soldiers are sent into battle with no chance of survival, so that the Ukrainian army wastes drones, artillery and shells. This once again shows how cynical the Kremlin is about its people. For it, even crippled soldiers are just a tool for waging war. According to the publication Verstka, new contract soldiers in Russia are also sent into assaults with virtually no training. Soldiers are given from 2 days to 2 weeks to train and then thrown into battle. At the same time, they are promised large payments, but few of them receive this money. Many die before their first paycheck. In the autumn, the UK Ministry of Defence estimated Russia's total losses at 610,000 men, 200,000 killed and 400,000 wounded, half of whom were left disabled. The Pentagon cited similar figures: 615,000 casualties, including 115,000 killed and 500 wounded. In the face of such colossal losses, the Kremlin is forced to send to the front even those who are no longer capable of fighting. The Russian authorities continue to hide the real scale of what is happening. Propaganda will not tell that the state deliberately sends wounded soldiers to their deaths in order to avoid payments and social responsibility. The Kremlin treats its soldiers as expendable material, not as people.
Protests were held in multiple U.S. cities Monday night as people voiced their opposition to President Donald Trump's mass deportation plans. According to Associated Press, the demonstrations were part of the nationwide Day Without Immigrants movement. They were held in cities including Los Angeles, Phoenix, and Asheville, North Carolina. Texas-born Alexis Mendoza, one of the protesters in Asheville, North Carolina, said his immigrant parents were too scared to join the protest. "I'm here because they can't be here," he said. "They're too scared of police, or ICE will come here and pick them up here."
No more ICE! No more ICE! No more ICE! No more ICE! We won't stop! We won't stop!
My mom and my dad, they're immigrants, and I born in Texas. I grew up in Mexico, but I'm an American citizen, and I'm here because they can't be here. They're too scared of police or ICE to come here and pick them up here.
Everything that our parents have worked so hard for us to be here, to be able to have the American life that they dream for us to have, it's scary that that can be ripped away from us easily.
Denmark's prime minister insisted on Monday that Greenland is not for sale. According to Associated Press, Mette Frederiksen also called for a robust response from her European Union partners should US President Donald Trump put tough tariffs on Europe. She was speaking after Trump said he would press ahead with his threat to take control of the island. Frederiksen said she has great support from her EU partners on the fact that everybody has to respect the sovereignty of all national states in the world, and that Greenland is today a part of the Kingdom of Denmark. It's part of our territory and it's not for sale. Greenland, home to a large US military base, is an autonomous territory of Denmark, a longtime US ally. Last month, Trump left open the possibility that the American military might be used to secure Greenland, as well as the Panama Canal. "We need Greenland for national security purposes," he said. She acknowledged US concerns about security in the Arctic region, where Russia and China have been increasingly active. "I totally agree with the Americans that the High North, that the Arctic region is becoming more and more important when we are talking about defense and security and deterrence," Frederiksen said. She added that the US and Denmark could have stronger footprints in Greenland, in security terms. "They are already there and they can have more possibilities," she said, underlining that Denmark itself can also scale up its security presence. "If this is about securing our part of the world, we can find a way forward," Frederiksen said. Last week, her government announced a roughly 14.6 billion kroner agreement with parties including the governments of Greenland and the Faroe Islands to improve capabilities for surveillance and maintaining sovereignty in the region. It would include 3 new Arctic naval vessels, 2 additional long-range surveillance drones and satellite capacity, the Defense Ministry in Copenhagen said.
I think we have been very clear from the Kingdom of Denmark, with great support from the European partners and the European Union, that everybody has to respect the sovereignty of all national states in the world, and that Greenland is today a part of the Kingdom of Denmark. It's a part of our territory, and it's not for sale. The chairman, the leader of Greenland, has been very clear that they are not for sale. I totally agree with the Americans that the High North, that the Arctic region is becoming more and more important when we're talking about defense and security and deterrence. And it is possible to find a way to ensure stronger footprints in Greenland. They are already there, and they can have more possibilities. And at the same time, we are willing to scale up from the Kingdom of Denmark. And I think NATO is the same. So if this is about securing our part of the world, we can find a way forward.